Hi. One way to drastically remove the amount of actions that you have to write is actually not using set text actions. So we can just get rid of that thing here. And set text actions, I have to say, are wonderful when you're working with dynamically rendered content when it's within a list. For static content on a page, they can add more complexity to your internal organization, especially when you have 150 set text actions on your site. Now, there are alternatives where you could use like set text input, but if your site is not a form, it's not a good alternative. So I want to show you, let's say we have this variable in here that will define the time of right now, right? And I want to use JQuery, which is a super powerful tool to set the text. And let's actually reload. We see we have time in here. Now I have the Wized attribute of time, right? If I go to Webflow on this element, we see that I have Wized equals time. And we're not going to use a Wized action to do this here. We're going to do this right in our computed variable, considering that it is really computed. So let's go. Here you see that I'm just going to do the $sign, and let's just zoom in. I think that will make programming in jQuery a little bit easier to understand. Wonderful. So I'm going to write the $sign, right? Now I'm going to add the brackets. And now I'm going to add the single quotes, and I'm going to add my square brackets. Now I'm going to write Wized equals the other quotation marks, and I'm going to write in time. Now we're going to use jQuery to target this element. This is what Wized would normally do, but I would always prefer doing those things natively in Wized because you're working within their framework, which is high performant. And actually, I think I did wrong to them when I said it was vanilla JavaScript. The more I looked into actually how it runs, I have a feeling that's actually Vue.js, which just like is way better. But these functions, at least in here, are vanilla JavaScript. So we want to avoid using as much code in there for things that we already have defined to improve the performance of our web application. But it is surely useful for things like this. So I'm going to do dot, and I'm going to write text, right? We have text, and I am going to add, first of all, let's do hey in here, and let's see if this works. We should be able, if I reload that page now, to see, oh, after. Of course, we need to do this before we return something, and actually we should do a const in here to do const, and we're going to define the value of my time as equals this, and then we're going to do this over the set text action because we want to do that dynamically at some point. But now you see we have hey set in here, and now I'm just going to replace this text with my time. Wonderful. And as you can see, I am setting the text right in here, fully dynamically. Look at that. And isn't that amazing? So I don't need to use an action to set text. I can use the power of Wized variables. And now if I, for example, want to show the real-time time, right, I could just put this inside of like an interval and run this or do some exciting things with it. But this is how you're going to set text and dynamic text too, as you can see right in here, without having to use the set text action. Now, again, I want to say the set text action is there for a reason. It makes it way easier, and doing this principle for like text inside of lists is a horrible thing. I found it to be very complicated, and this is where Wized really makes it work easier for me. But for some things, if you want to have like a page for like a application and you want to show them review this form and you have like 200 little items in there, using jQuery for this static thing may be also a nice alternative to actions that Wized itself offers you within their platform to be more resource oriented. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this really helped you and that you're going to build a lot of exciting stuff inside of Wized. Thank you so much and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.